Hello, Jamie from Inky and Scrappy, back with my Let's Start Stamping series, still playing with those fun folds. So if you're new to card making, maybe go back to the first or second episode and start there and build yourself up. But you can do this one. I did it. You can do it. I promise. So this one is called the Infinity Fold. It just kind of keeps on going. I mean, obviously you get back to the beginning right there, but it's just kind of a fun one to play with. Lots of options, lots of color options, lots of different stamp options. It's really good for smaller stamp sets or stamp sets that you have a lot of images with, or if you want to have a lot of words on there. You know, it's just and it's so fun to play with. So we'll get started and we'll go from there. This one you will see, I will have a video on this one in not real time. This was supposed to be my original one, and we'll just say I didn't like where it took me way too long to get my images on there. So I'm hoping this one goes a little bit better. For this one, you're going to want a scoreboard of some kind, and you're going to want a paper cutter of some kind. Probably want either a stamp platform or some stamping blocks, a variety of paper, and a stamp set or two. So we will start with, I'm going to use 49 and Market's Starlight Dreamers collection for today. I've picked out a few patterns for that one. Whoops. And then some scraps. This one's really good for to use up some of those scraps because you have all those smaller pieces on the side there. Starting with some paper from the boho collection from scrapbook.com. This is already quarter sheet, so you don't have to do anything else with it. You just pull out your quarter sheets and you're good to roll. So we have 2 quarter sheets for this one. That is going to actually make our card base for this one. I'm also going to bring in Whimsy's Beam Me Up stamp set. I think there's a lot of fun little images that'll work on the sides for this one. We might do a little bit of coloring, probably on her, maybe on the cow, maybe, you know, there's a couple of options to do some coloring and adding some images in there. We'll see how time progresses. So for this one, I'm gonna start with doing some scoring. So I made a sample, so this way I just have my quick measurements on there. I will put the matte measurements on this, take pictures, and throw it up on my Inky and Scrappy blog on the Let's Start Stamping series tab. The one from last week is up. I just loaded that one the other day, so if you're looking for the measurements for that one, I will also put the measurements and the scoring in the description box below, as I have done for the last few videos when we've been playing with, of course, you know, all the fun folds. It's my favorite. I have always been an interactive card. I love interactive cards, and so I've been struggling to create the Let's Start Stamping just because I like interactives. So for this one, I'm leaving it whole. We're going to do the scores and then we're going to cut it. You can definitely cut this in half first and then do the scores. Why, you know, I'm going to skip it. You know, it's one less thing to have to do. So the first score is going to be at 1 3/8 inch. So here's 1, here's a quarter, which is 2/8, one more tick mark over, and that will be our 3/8. So 1 3/8. And then if you don't want to find it on the other side, you can just flip your paper this way and you can do it again. Or on this one, we're going to score it at 4 1/8. So 4 1/4, come back 1 would be 4 1/8, or 4, move over 1, it's 4 1/8. And that's all we have to do for that one. And now we're going to flip over my sample here. And so for this one, we're going to go this way. And we're going to do 1 1/16. Mine only does eighths. There's a little tick mark up here. I don't know if you can see it. So there's this little teeny tiny arrow up here. This, moving it over to that one, makes it an eighth. How accurate am I at moving it over an eighth? Not the greatest, but it works, right? So our actual inch mark is going to be like right here, like in between the 1 and the 1/8 inch line. And so we need to go, when we're doing that one, so we're looking, this one's our 1, this is going to be our 1 1/16. And then we're going to find our 3. So this would be our just under 3. So this is our 3, right? So 3 1/4 would be here, which would be 4/16. So 3 and 3/16. So 1/8. This is our 3 1/8. So 1 or 3/16 is going to be right here, I think. Do we look even on that one? Oh boy. Yeah, we look pretty close. That's one way to test it, is just to like flip it, see if you're lining up at the same spot on the back side. So this one we're going to cut, it's hot dog, right? So we're going to cut it in half that way. And so our half mark on this one is going to be 2 3/4. And essentially we're just chopping them all into halves. So we have 2 halves there. And then for this one, we're gonna chop this one in half the long ways. So thinking of it as in hot dog mode. I don't know, the kids teacher did that once. One was hot dog and one was hamburger. Don't ask me, that's how I remembered for you guys. So this one we're gonna cut at 2 1/8 because we started at 4 1/4. So we're gonna cut this one at 2 1/8. And the best way to make sure that you're mostly even is to kind of like compare. I'm a little off here. I think we'll be okay. We can always trim when we get that far, so it's not a huge deal. So we have this part done. So this is going to be our card base. So I'm going to move this off to the side. So for this one we're going to set it up like this. This is probably the easiest way to set it up. This way and this way. So we need to take all of these pieces and score them on the score marks. So the more times you fold them back and forth, the better you're training your paper to move that way. So I do them a couple of times. I play with it so much while I put it together that I get enough there. You can definitely burnish it with your scoring tool if you want. I don't usually do that, but have at it. I would definitely say going an 80-pound paper or above on this one. I would err on the side of caution if you want to use a paper that needs to go in a certain direction. At least for your base. When we do the other part, it's not the easiest to do, but we'll maybe pull. I don't know if any of my patterns today kind of have a certain direction per se, but as you saw my other cards did, there was, you know, some issues with it, but it's been going better as I've been making it. But really, you get like a mini gatefold card, right? That's kind of what you have here. So we have all of our scores done. We have everything lined up. We're going to use score style tape with this one today. This is about an inch thick score style tape. I'm going to go with 4 little tab pieces here. This is all we're adhering together on the card. That's it. So for this one, we want to go up in the top corner on that side of the score line, top corner that side of the score line, and then we're going to go on the bottom. So we're going to go to the bottom corner, this side of the score line, and the bottom corner, this side of the score line. So basically you have mirror pieces, one's with the top, one's on the bottom. So we're going to line these up. I'm going to peel this one off and this one off. And then I'm going to fold this one up first so I don't have to worry about it sticking already. And I'm just going to line up that top corner, making it flush into that corner along the top and then along the side, as well as making sure that this is going to stay flush along this side over here. and then, whoops, I keep wiggling it, and then pressing this down. Whoops. Paper, behave. Okay, lining that up and putting that one down. So once we have one half together, it's a lot easier to get the other half to kind of do what it's supposed to do. And then we're gonna go in that upper corner over here and line that one up over there. And so you'll see I'm not exact, but we should be okay. And now we should be able to go and do this. And then it should fold. We're getting caught on this one. So I will trim. It just means that we're a little bit off on this one. So I can see that I'm a little over the top there. I am going to trim just a teensy bit off there. And I'm going to do the other side too, because I probably am off on this side just a teeny tiny little bit. Just making sure that those are flush. And now we'll try it again. And now it goes, no problems whatsoever. So sometimes I have to trim on the sides on this side, sometimes on the top side, but usually it's just a minuscule amount, just making sure that you have it lined up as flush as possible. But if you don't get it flush the first time, it's okay. You can trim a little bit. It's not gonna hurt it at all. So, and then we just kind of play with it a little bit, making sure that all of those move properly. And that's the infinity card fold. It's not too difficult. It's actually a lot easier than I expected it to be. If you want, I think it's the Stamps of Life has the actual die set for this one, so it makes doing the mats a lot easier because you just die cut them out, right? But it's really an easy one to just cut, score, and put together. I think the mats for this one are probably the harder part, trying to find the correct halvesies on them. So for those mats, measuring them out, I will cut my pieces 5 by 3 3/4 or 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and that'll give me, so if I want a wider mat or like a bigger border, that'll be like a 2.5 inch cut by, because you're going to quarter them, by 1 7/8 for these panels. For this panel, you can do the 1 7/8 by 1 1/8, or the 2 inches by 1 1/4 inch, or 1 inch. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think it's 1 1/4 inch. Yeah, 1 1/4. So, and then this side for the skinny mats, a 2.5 by 3 1/4 is going to give you that bigger border, and then 2 5/8 by 1 inch is going to give you less of a border. I think it works out. We'll see how it goes. So for this one, I pulled in, we're going to need 8 big panels. So if you think about it, there's 2 sides to every piece of paper, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll do the smaller ones. But so if I do 4 sheets of my bigger, well, if I do 2 sheets of bigger panels, I'll get 8 panels, right? But we might want some different variety there, so I'll probably cut a few more. Keeping in mind that I want certain things to be on certain panels and the like, so I'll probably cut my paper to, I want my card to be this way, excuse me, up and down. So I'm going to cut it so this is going to be on the bottom and that way. So let's see, we'll do the skinnier one, so, or the less border one. So we're going to go 5 1/4, but we're going to go by 4 inches here. So I'm going to cut this at 4. And we will get this piece here that we could definitely use for either of those. And then I'm going to cut, I want my moon to kind of be in one of my panels, and I don't want it to be, and I know that my panels are going to end up being 2.5 inches wide, so I'm going to cut a little bit extra off of this one just so my moon's going to be in the right spot on my panel, because you know I'm going with pattern paper. I like being difficult. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one at 5 inches here, oh, 5 1/4, sorry. So I'm going to cut this one at 5 1/4. And then we can do these cuts right away. So once it's at 5 1/4, we're going to go to 2 5/8. So if you find 2 1/2, 5/8 will be that next notch up. Cut that, and they should be equal or close to equal. We might be a little off. And then this one is just going to get cut at 2, which this I think is probably one of the easier ones to cut. Is that 2-inch one. And we could definitely cut these scraps down for the top and or the bottom side pieces if we need them. So I have 4 panels here already, and then we will cut one more sheet. I haven't decided which one I want. I like the light, but I think I'm going to go with the darker one, I think. I like that one too. Oh, so many options. Okay. So this one we're actually going to go this side, so it's not a huge deal here. So I'm going to cut this one at 4. And this one at 5 1/4. And then this one at 2. And this one at that 2 5/8. So find 2 1/2 and then go up 1/8 of an inch. And you can definitely tick it on your paper cutter if you want. That's usually what I do. I have little ticks there already. I'm still a little bit off because I eyeball it. Hopefully your eyeballs are better at eyeballing than mine are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that'll cover all of my big panels. And then we want to do some smaller panel pieces. And so this one is going to be that 2-inch wide. It is 2 inches wide already. So I'm just going to cut these at 1 1/4 inches. Because I can't see on there, I'm going to go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I should be able to get one more out of here. 6, and I don't have to use all of these. They're options though for that one. And then this one. This one is 1 inch. We will cut this one down. This one should be 1 inch. So we'll cut this one down to, for this one we're going to do the inch by 2 5/8. So I'm going to find my 2 5/8 mark. Two and 5/8. So that one, I think I cut. I know I cut an extra piece earlier in here, but 2 of those. I need at least 4 of those. So this is going to be. We're going to cut this one. This one is at 5, so I need, this one's not going to be enough. So 4, 2 5/8 tall, And then I'm going to cut this one in 1-inch chunks. So I will cut this one at 4. 3. 2. And 1. And keep in mind you can do these in all different colors, so I'll probably flip these around here and there on that one. Okay, so I think we have enough pieces. This one's not necessarily straight. So let's start gluing. And I have this one. I can always pull this one in to do matte layers and those types of things on that one. I kind of have an idea for my stamp pieces at this point. Is that the right? I don't know if that was the right size. Where did my stamps go? I was planning on doing the space one. So I think it'll be fun to do like her with her hand up down on the bottom one and the space one up there. So I kind of want to keep that in mind. I will probably cut those images out and put those on later on. So for this one, we're going to just start by putting pieces on and we'll go from there. So knowing that this one is going to kind of go this way. Is that, I think this one was this way, wasn't it? So I'm going to line these up because they're a pattern. I think it'll be good. I'm going to use this instead of the liquid glue today. It gives me the capability to pull them back off without ruining it all if I change my mind. Why do I say that? Because the first one I did with glue and can I say it didn't go the greatest? Just, I struggled, okay? Because sometimes I moved it wrong and it didn't go where it was supposed to go and all the things. So using this kind of adhesive for this, even if you end up using the reusable adhesive and then go back later and glue it down, that works fine too. I'm gonna wait with all of those pieces until I have my main pieces on, because then I'll be able to kind of see where this one is going to head. So I can do this, I can switch them up. So I think I'm going to switch this one up, so I do one of these and one of those. Just trying to get those pieces kind of laid in there. And then we just continue to fold open. So when you look at this one, you're looking at this piece, but when you looked at this fold, you're going to see this one on this side. So I'll try to keep that in mind when I'm doing my other pieces with this one. Now, see how some of mine weren't exactly the same size because I didn't cut them quite properly. Just try to go for the best matches there. And you can always trim, you know, bring your cutter back in and trim down if you need to. I'm not that picky. And you can just leave your paper plain on some of these as well. You don't have to always, ooh, I kind of like that one. You don't always have to have a pattern on it or another layer on it. You can definitely get by with not putting another layer on it. And so then this is my last one, and I'm going to go this way again, and we're going to see if it ends up working out for me. So now that I have all of my big pieces on, now I can start laying in some of those smaller pieces. So knowing that that's going to look like that, I can come in and do maybe these two on the top. those. I like those. Ooh, decisions. I'm gonna go with, let's see if that one of these had, one of them has, it's like a quarter panel on the back side or a half panel. So I'm gonna use the side that's not. That way I can play with the other ones. And flip, flip. Hello. Okay, so for this one, I mean, I guess I could make these a semi-match. I don't know if they're all gonna match. Dooby-dooby-doo, where's the other ones? This one probably. Alrighty. Okay, and then we'll flip to this one. So these ones have the little, so basically you're just taking your half pieces and you're going to cut them in half, or about half. I think because we want a little bit more of a border on them, we don't need them to be quite as big. I've been using my ruler a lot lately, and it keeps disappearing. So this one is, if I want to put a 1/8 inch quarter, so if we cut these at like 1 inch and a 1/8 probably. Let's see here, do I have, I'll probably get away with a couple of these. Doesn't look great, but we'll see. And it wiggled on me. No. An 1.25 inches. This one should be 1 inch. So we can pop those ones on there. What do I want to do? This one's, I think, a half piece maybe. I don't have enough cut. Alright, let's see here. An 1.25 inches. So if I cut this one, cut 1/8 inch off of it, and then I can do 1.25 inches. So this one's 1 inch. An 1.25 inches. Ow. It's 1.25 inches. Make sure your finger is on the right side of the guard. Okay, so you'll see how these kind of hang out over here. those are just the bigger panels from the other side. Oh, that one wasn't the right size. This one. Go down here. So we have that panel done, and do the flip, and you have 4 more smaller quarters. And you don't have to fill them all in if you don't want to. I think we'll just do, that one's not the right width. And this one. So then I think we have all of them. All of our panels are filled up. Of course, except for the 2 that I chose not to fill up. But, you know, this piece, you could definitely go that one and quarter it this way as well. It's gonna be that same, basically the same option there, right? So you have options. It works really good to use up some of the smaller pieces though. But so for our card front, so this is probably where I will go with my card front, and then flipping it for this one to be my next one. This one will be my second last one, and this one will be my last one. So let's see, we have the beam me up I want on the inside. We can do the little I really need some space. We could do something like that. That's fun on there. We have the little moon thing, the little guy, those things going up. I don't know what I want to put on the front. I have one that's got a bigger alien on it, so let me go grab that set. We'll stamp out some images and we're going to color them, and then we're going to put them, I'll cut them out and then we'll put them on the rest of the card. But keep in mind, this one is nice because it's got all these little things, but keep in mind this one, so when we get to this one here, is going to, half of it is going to show on the other side. And I think it's one of the other front panel. I don't know if the front panels do, but so just keep that in mind when you're flipping through like this one. I like to do my big panels first and then see where everything lands, and then come back and say, okay, I can add some more stuff and go that route. So let me go and grab my other set. I'm going to grab some paper and I'll be right back. I'm going to come in with mementos today only because I can't find my Lisa Horton solid black alcohol friendly ink pad. This one is like a really dark, almost black shade of brown. The mementos is an alcohol friendly. It's actually the first one I used, the one I used to use a long time ago. I don't know why I quit using it. I think it needed to get re-inked, and then I didn't have a re-inker, and then I tried the other ones. Maybe I'll go back to it again. It's a nice one to use for all of the things. It stamps fairly well. So if you're looking for a different one, I used to have good luck with mementos. I can't tell you why I went away from them, aside from my ink pad was dry. CPR looks good. Alright, so I think for this one I'm just going to pull markers from, I'm not going to look through and take all the time to do all the other stuff just because this one's going to take us long enough. So I pulled in a teal, I pulled in a mauve pink. Do I want to do a purple? Let's try to find a mauve-ish purple, like a dull, do like a dull lavender. So just pulling in, and then I'm going to go with like a blue violet, or like a slate blue maybe. I'm thinking that color blue, maybe. I think that's pretty good. That's a fairly good. Do I want another green though? I kind of feel like I need another green for my little monster dude, but we'll see. Maybe we'll just color him purple. My poor little cow. This is gonna be pink uttered is really all that one needs, and pink snout. And then her dress, I think we'll do pink. I'm not going to do any in-depth coloring today. I'm just going to do single layer, maybe coming in with a second layer for a little low light shading, nothing too major. Do her tongue. I suppose I'll need a skin tone here. So we'll do some pastel blush for our skin tone on this one. Take me with you. Okay. And this one. I don't think we'll see her foot. What do I have? Let's go with a dark warm gray for in there. I was gonna say the cow needs like just do a little bit of shading so it doesn't look too black and white. Well, I mean, he is black and white. She is black and white. That one, the tongue can be pink on this one. We could give our alien some funky colored teeth. I mean, I don't know. Would they have white teeth? Did you know beavers have like yellow or orange teeth? Yeah, see? Crazy, right? Where do I want the blue? We'll do the tealy. Do I want that to be a yellow? Yellow. We'll go golden champagne. And we'll make his eyes yellowish. glass. Let's see. Oh, we did yellow eyes on the other one. So we'll do yellow eyes on this one. Hair color, I'll just come in with a brown. Missed an ear. It's funny when you're coloring and then you moved on to the next thing and you're like, oh, I missed a spot. It's really great when you colored something the wrong color and then you have to figure out how to fix it. Yeah. I think we're good with the hair. Nothing. Just, I guess there's a little eyebrow space in there. She's done. He's done. This little guy, I think we're going to color him purple. I'm probably going to be sad that I didn't color more of him. Like, you know, make multiples. Gray by his eye. This dude, I think we'll do the ship the same color. And a little landy feet. This one yellow, or yellow, dark blue. And we'll do the inside stuff is the dark blue color. Gloves. I think I'm going to make him purple. We'll do pink gloves. We'll do pink gloves. So super quick coloring today. I really just want to get, you know, my images on there. So I'm going to run this through the Brother Scan and Cut, and then we will be right back and we will add these in and do some stamping. Ooh, her eyes kind of look scary. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I pulled out the Sugar Cube ink pad. We're going to try to do it with this one, and we're going to hope for the best. And then the VersaFine Onyx Black, but ultimately my paper is really dark on a lot of these, so I'm hoping I can get away with a little bit of the white stuff. Now, this one is going to be a little bit, I'm going to cut off the little lander thingies on this one just because I want it to fit snugly on that panel and not hang over at all. So I think we'll go there. Ouch! I just poked myself with the pin that I have on my bottle. It's gonna be one of those days. Okay, so I'm gonna plop this one on that panel. Wait for me. I want to leave. Humans suck. Yuck. All of these are options. I want to believe, I guess, would work. I really need some space. I think we're gonna do that one. So I really need some space. So I think we're gonna go here with this one. Oh, decisions. I'm trying to decide if I want to do this all in one or, and you can definitely throw this into your platform. Just know that you're going to be going through different layers of paper. So it might be difficult to get a good impression. Just know that it might not give you a good impression. I also thought about going up and below, but I think we'll go here and hope for the best. Okay, so we're good there. So we have the front one is done. I really need some space. And then we can go on to our next panel. And this one, I had decided to go with this one, and I'm just going to cut her off once I get that far. But I'm going to glue her down. And you can have it all the way to the edge, just don't have it going over the edge. So this one, we might have to cut that one if it catches. This one I'm gonna trim here. And then if it catches again, we'll just end up trimming it down. I may have had some technical difficulties with the Brothers Can Cut my piece of paper, you know, because I decided to do 2 more little purple aliens and add them. Of course it wasn't going to work like I wanted it to work, right? Ooh, do I want it? Well, yeah, I like them up there. So we have him there, her down there. We can flip it this way. And then for this one, this is going to show through on this one, right? So these 2 are going to show through on this one, so keeping that in mind when I do this. So if I do the cow, it's going to show over there. I can definitely add the little purple guy. We're going to do this one. Do I want to do it white or black? We'll go black with this one. I'm going to put this on this way, just because I know it's going to be on that other panel. So I'm going to put that one there. And we could do we can just do a stamped image, and it doesn't have to be colored. And I'm going to try to do this across panels. We'll see how this one goes. He did okay. So not too bad on that one. And then we have, this is our last one where we have the big ones that I don't have anything on yet. So I think we're going to go with the cow up here. The other thing is keeping, you can definitely keep this one for your sentiment. So maybe I'll put the cow up here, but I want the sentiment and what I want to say over on that one. So I can add this little guy over here. And then it's just a matter of putting some sentiments on there. So there's my front one. And of course, because I didn't wait for it to dry, it just smeared a little bit. But I'll come back in with my white gel pen and add some more to the white there. It just soaked in. I didn't give it enough time to dry, so it kind of transferred onto my mat, and so it lost some of that white. But ultimately, so for this one, see how it went from just those two to the weight for me and the other dude there. I think we have the other little creature, the other little ones here. We can do like the little cat. Throw the cat on there. The guy on the other side. And then this guy. Maybe the cat might go on the smaller block. There we go. So I can do the cat down here. And let's see, we do a little floating guy up over here. And so I'm happy with that one. It's too people-y on this planet. I can go with that one. I'm going to try this in white again. Let it dry this time. So this one, I think we're good. We can add maybe like the little guy or little cat on that one if we want to. For this one, this will be my inside one where I want my sentiment on. So I think the other one has, I'm trying not to cause any issues with the top one. So this one, brain removal 100% complete. I want to believe. Whoa, you're old. I thought there was one with a birthday one. I guess the whoa, you're old. Humans, yuck, would work too. I want to believe. For that one. This one goes on this one. And then at this spot, conserving that one for my sentiment on that one. Go there. We're good. And so because it kind of sucked up that white ink quite a bit, I think it depends on the paper. I've had really good luck with the TE Sugar Cube ink. This one, just not so much. So ultimately, I will come in with my white gel pen and go over those and make them whiter, having those there. But so this one, I'm happy with this one. I'm happy with this one. I'm good with this one. We can do, I have another one of those little dudes to throw somewhere. He's on that one. He's on that one. So he kind of ends up in 3 places, even though he's only on 2 panels. I guess we could fit him in one of those. So which panel? He's not on the front panel. I don't like him there. Okay. I'm going to go with the little black cat again. And this dude. And you do some little stars on there, anything you can think of, but ultimately, you know, there it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one today. I will add the white back on there. Keep in mind you can do each of those panels individually before you glue them on. I think the more you do this one, the more I do this one, the more I can kind of play with that a little bit more. But ultimately, like, I would probably heat set some white on there to make these pop. I think it's a paper thing because I've had really good luck with the sugar cube on other papers, just not this one. So ultimately, you know, you just, you know, can kind of figuring out your panels. I think those base 4 panels are kind of fun. This one, because there's so much going on in that background paper, I just kind of love it. And I don't feel it needs a whole lot of extra stuff, but I would probably put sentiments on all of the little things coming back in and doing, you know, more little sentiments. I love the ones that kind of have some extra. The stamp sets that have a lot of little pieces work really good with this one because you have those smaller side panel pieces, these pieces, those types of things can kind of go well with this one. So I will finish this one, snap some pictures, and I will definitely add those measurements to the website if you are, or the website, the description down below if you're interested. I think the mats on this one worked fairly well. My cutting isn't always the greatest, so that's probably where some of it is. If I really I don't want to say cared because that's not the right word for it. If I was really concerned about the cutting part of it, you know, you could get the die. I just think it's a lot for something that I could do this way, and I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to make it a whole lot that I feel like I need. I'm going to get good use out of the die, at least. This one is one I can do really easily on my own. So that's usually what I decide on what I get for my interactive dies. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.